Hello everyone, it's Tamara Bennett again with Southern Adoornments Decor. I'll give you just a minute for some more people to log on before we get started, but tonight we're going to be painting one of these cute little Grinches. Hang on a second. Here's what it looks like completed. I did this one the other day, and we're going to be learning how to do this face right here. When I posted that originally, somebody said, that looks really hard. It's actually going to be super simple, and I'll tell you why. Because we're going to use a stencil. Sorry, I'm a little bit off frame here. So, as you're coming on, please say hello. Tell me where you're from. If this is your first time watching me, please let me know. I love to know when I've got new viewers. If you enjoy these types of things and you have a special request, I would love to hear what you would like for me to paint if you have any requests. Also, if you share this video, you can be entered to win a free blank cutout like of one of these. It'll come blank like this, but I will have already drawn like the shape of the hat and the little collar that he has. So feel free to share this video so you can win one of those. And at the top of the video, I put two links in case anybody wants to buy one of the blank cutouts. They are $12. If you're local, you can just message me and we'll set up a time to meet and you can just pay me then. If you're not local, I can ship for $7.50. If you want me to paint one and send it to you looking like this with a bow and completely done, just ready to put on your door, those are $35 and shipping is $7.50. So there's a link at the top for that too. So if you would like to buy one of those, just click that link and it will set everything up for you. So if you're just coming on, I was explaining we are going to be painting the Grinch face, and it's going to be really easy because we're going to use a stencil. And I'm hoping I've got the comments figured out, because I wound up, I got my husband's iPad out so that I could watch myself on the iPad and see the comments coming up. So, thank you, Mitzi, for sharing. It says Mitzi shared the video. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm going to try to scoot up a little bit so I'll be completely in frame, but most of the time I'll be bending down painting. Okay, here is a stencil of the Grinch face. I'm going to be posting this later. I might be able to post it in the comments. If not, I'll just do a post on the page so that you can just save this and download it directly to your computer and print it out yourself. You'll have to print it out as a full page photo for it to be the proper size for this door hanger. But if you buy one of the blank door hanger cutouts from me, I will go ahead and print one of these for you and send it to you with the door hanger. That way, all you got to do is use the stencil. So, everybody, if we're ready to get started, I will show you how to do it. Okay, so you print this out on your computer, or if you've bought one of the blank door hangers from me, you'll get one. And you take the back, and you cover the back in pencil lead. Like you just take a pencil and you fill it all in so that all of the back of the design is covered. And if you're not sure if you've got it covered, you can kind of hold it up to the light and look and see if it's showing through behind the design. And after you've got all of the back covered in pencil lead, you're going to want to take like a paper towel or something and just gently wipe it down, because it will get some of that pencil lead off on there, and that will keep you from getting extra pencil lead all over your door hanger. You only want it, on the stencil. Okay, so I've already got my background colors painted, and we're just going to do the face and some of the shadowing, because you can see on here he's got some shadowing in the little collar and on his hat and on his face. Okay, so first, I hope you guys can see okay. It looks like you can. You're going to lay this directly on, and you can kind of see through, because I can see the green paint where I'm placing it, and I just want to kind of get his face on there. It doesn't have to be super straight because his face is so wiggly, but you can just kind of position it on here and make sure none of it's coming up on the hat. So I'm going to pull it down a little bit because I don't want it to get on the hat up there. Okay, and that looks pretty good. The next step is you're going to take just a regular ballpoint pen. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate that. Hi, Lauren. I see I've got Lauren online. Okay, you're going to take your ballpoint pen and you're going to trace, like you did probably in elementary school as a kid. You're just going to trace the outline of the design. And what this does is when you trace, like I'm just going to trace the shape of those little eyebrows right there. And when I do that, when I pick it up, you guys won't be able to see this because it's really hard for me to see even in person. But there are pencil lines exactly where those eyebrows are. So but once you start tracing, don't pick your paper up because you'll have a hard time lining it back up. Keep the paper in the same spot. If it helps, you could even tape the paper down. So you just start to outline all of these shapes. And I've already used this stencil a couple times, so the tricky part about that is I really have to pay attention which parts I've stenciled and which parts I haven't, because since there's already pencil lead, or I'm sorry, ink on here, I have to pay attention where I've gone so that I don't miss any spots. Right now I'm just tracing the outline of his little eyebrows and his eyes. And this is just a foolproof way of making sure you get the shape of the Grinch's eyes and his mouth, because even though he is kind of cartoony, he has a very specific look about him, and you want him to look just like the Grinch, not just like a creepy monster. And if you forget where you were, like I just did, you can lift your paper up and just kind of look and see where you got to. Just make sure you don't take it off completely. Just kind of peel back the corner and then lay it back down, and you just keep tracing. And so I'm just going around the outer edge of this whole design, just like I'm outlining it. I was thinking about this the other day. I used to play with tracing paper all the time when I was little, and I would trace designs that were in coloring books and stuff. Because as a kid, it makes you feel like you're actually drawing all of that, even though what you're doing is tracing. It was a lot of fun. Okay, I already did that part. But you could use this method for pretty much anything. You know, if you had any kind of superhero or cartoon character that you wanted to use, you could, you know, stencil their face or even their shape onto something. And trace it just like this. And you can do this for words too. So if I wanted it to say Merry Christmas, all I have to do is print out Merry Christmas and trace it. I see that some of you guys are sharing the video. I appreciate that. In case you missed it, if you share the video, you get entered for the drawing to win one of these blank Grinch head door hangers for you to paint yourself. And if you're not a painter and you just enjoy watching these videos, we welcome you too. I know some people find it very therapeutic to watch these videos. How about you guys? Do you think this is therapeutic? Hey Sarah, happy birthday! I wish we were doing your paint party tonight. We just didn't have enough people that were able to come, so we had to cancel it, but it would have been so much fun. Maybe we can have a little virtual party right now. I lost my train of thought. Oh, so if you wanted to buy one of these already painted, if you're not a painter and you just, you know, you're not into that, you can go to the top of this link and just click on the PayPal button, and it will take you directly to PayPal to buy it. And you can buy one painted or not painted. The painted ones are $35, the non-painted ones are $12, and if you have to pay for shipping, it's $7.50. Okay, so I've got everything traced, and I'm going to lift it up, and then I'm going to hold it closer so you guys can see it, because I know right now you can't see it at all. Can you guys see that pencil lead on there? Maybe faintly. I hope so. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to get kind of somewhat of a small brush that's kind of precise. I'm going to use one that's not pointed. It's more squared, but it's about 1/4 inch wide. I'm just going to dip it in my black, and I'm just going to start outlining all of these shapes. I wish I could get you guys closer. Let me see if I can zoom this camera in just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little better. Hang in there. Maybe if I get it down like this, you won't be able to see me, but you'll be able to see the door hanger a little better. Do you like that better? Comment if you like that better. Because I know you're not watching this to watch my face. So if you like this better, just let me know. Thank you, Lauren. I think you're pretty talented too. I wish I could sew as well as you can. Okay, so I guess you guys can see me painting a little better like that. I don't know what I just heard outside, but it sounded like something yelling. Maybe the dog's got a hold of something. Okay. He's got some wicked looking eyebrows. Okay. Mitzi says good deal. Linda says yes. I'm glad you guys like that better. It's kind of easier to see the painting up close. I've yet to figure out the perfect way to do my Facebook Live videos so that you guys can see me and all that. I'm glad I finally figured out a way to be able to see the comments better because I can see them using my husband's iPad. Oh, I almost painted the wrong part. I have to remember this part right here, as you're going around the eye, you don't want to paint inside here because this is going to be yellow and then this little part will be red. You probably can't see the pencil lines as well on the video, but if you were doing them, you would be able to see what I'm talking about. So you need to keep that inside part blank for now. Let's see, I need to go around here. And the nose is kind of weird because the nose is going to stay green, but you're going to outline it in black. And if it helps, like whenever you're painting this on your own, pull up the picture of the Grinch one that I've already done, and it will kind of show you which parts you're supposed to paint black and yellow and red. It's kind of weird looking right now. Okay, I'm going to rotate it, which would probably be easier for you guys to see, but I'm just going to paint upside down for a second. Did everybody have a good Halloween? Tell you what, we've got a ton of candy. And I'm like addicted to Snickers and Reese's, so I've had a hard time staying away from the candy bucket because a lot of people handed those out this year. Thank you for sharing, Shalonda. I think that's how you say your name. Is that right? I was getting tongue-tied there for a second. I have sympathy for you. Not everybody can say my name correctly because I say it Tamara, even though it's spelled more like Tamara or Tamara. I say it like it only has one A instead of 3 A's. Thanks for sharing, Michelle. Michelle says, I think you and I need to get together and do some painting. Yeah, that would be fun if I wasn't so busy. I've been so busy with paint parties and stuff lately, and it's only going to get worse in the next couple of weeks. I think maybe next week after next, I've got parties Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So my kids are going to be like, I never see you, Mom. They kind of get to complaining if I'm home, if I'm gone a lot doing paint parties. I said, well, it puts food on the table and pays for those fun activities you want to go and do. That's the thing about supporting small businesses. You're literally putting food in a family's mouth and paying for, I don't know, ballet or whatever the kids do these days. My son is thinking about starting wrestling. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to rotate again. We got to finish this side of the mouth. I don't want to get my hand in the black paint because I'm really bad about doing that. And then we'll finish the eyes in a moment. Would I consider doing a paint party for an 11th birthday party for a boy? Right now, I'm not doing kids' parties. I don't mind if the kids come with adults, but I have so many adults wanting to do parties that I haven't been able to even start doing kids' parties yet. I am literally booked up and have a waiting list of people who are wanting me to call them if I have an opening. So, as of right now, I'm not doing kids' parties, but I did have somebody ask if I would be willing to cut out some door hangers for their kids to paint on their own at their party. And yes, I would be willing to do that. If you want to PM me and say, hey, I need like 10 dinosaurs cut out, could you do that? Yes, absolutely. So you just message me and let me know kind of what you're wanting to do and we'll work something out. Okay, while this part is drying, I'm going to start outlining some of the stuff up here. And I'm just going to get a pointy brush and load it up with some black. And this is kind of what gives it that cartoonish look, is because all cartoons have that like black line around the edge. And as you get to like one of these little creases where it goes up, kind of bring your brush and just flick it upward like that. And it kind of makes it look a little bit more cartoony. I tell you what, doing all these Christmas door hangers is getting me in the Christmas mood. I don't want to forget about Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong, I ain't putting my tree up yet. I always wait till after Thanksgiving to put my tree up, just because we have family get-togethers here, and I don't want it to feel like Christmas when we're having a Thanksgiving meal. So the kids get all confused. They'll start saying, "Are we opening presents?" And I'll have to say, "No, it's Thanksgiving." "Well, why is the tree up?" Does anybody else have that problem? Okay, so I did all of that outlining, and then I'm going to do the little cap. And then I usually do like a little outline around the hat too. Has anybody seen those Grinch statues that you like, or like cutouts that you put in your front yard, and you hook a string of lights to them, and then you hang the lights on the edge of the house so it looks like the Grinch is stealing your lights? I thought about making one of those, but I think it kind of intimidates me to draw a Grinch that's that big. Stuff on a grander scale kind of intimidates me anyways, but I guess there's a first time for everything. I did those Halloween displays for the pumpkin patch, so I don't guess it would be much different than that. I guess it's just the fear that when I draw it, maybe it won't look exactly like the Grinch or something, but don't know till you try, I guess. My kids are always complaining because we don't decorate outside the house as much as we do inside the house at Christmas, so maybe if I put up one of those Grinches, they would think that was okay. Because then I'm kind of decorating, but only halfway decorating, because it looks like the Grinch took it all down. Okay, so we've got all of that outlined. Brittany, you would love a full-size Grinch. I bet you could put that in your yard. Brandon would probably think that was easy decorating. Just one strand of lights and stick something in the yard. Okay, now I'm going to get the white. Well, let me think about this. Yeah, I'm going to do white and then paint yellow over it, because the yellow is super transparent. And I'm just going to paint the inside part of his eyes white, and then in a moment we'll paint over the white with yellow. But this will help the yellow kind of look brighter by putting the white behind it. And I'm just filling this, and this little dot here will be red. Just like coloring inside the lines, except with paint. Oop, there I go getting my arm in it. At least I didn't transfer it to the door hanger. It's just on my arm. My kids haven't yet figured out that I'm doing a video, or they would probably be in here trying to say hello again. They're playing Minecraft or something like that. When you do white underneath yellow, you need to make sure it looks really nice and smooth and not streaky at all. It might even take 2 coats of white, because you'll be able to see those streaks through the yellow if you don't. So I'm trying to get it nice and smoothed out. Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. I'll go ahead and paint the inside part of the eyes red. Thanks for sharing, Beverly. Don't forget to share the video, guys, because you can win one of these blank Grinch door hangers to paint yourself. When you get it in the mail, or if you order one or whatever, you can pull this video up and watch it again and kind of remember how to do everything. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not just painting door hangers in all of my videos, that I'm teaching you guys like maybe a new technique every time. So if any of you guys have a technique or an idea of something you would like to learn, feel free to send me a message and, you know, give me your idea, because I would love to help you guys out. I've had so many people message me lately saying that I've helped them like branch out a little bit and try new things, and I just love that. I love that I'm able to help people get out of their comfort zone. Okay, now I'm going to do the shading inside all of these little white areas. And I'm not going to get a gray. I'm just going to create one. I'm going to get a little bit of black, and then I'm just going to get a little bit of white. And at the edge of this white, I'm just going to mix them. And I want it to be a really, really light gray because I don't want it to stand out a whole lot. So I'm going to use a lot of white in there. It's going to look pretty light. And then I'm just going to take this little brush. It's a pointy brush, but it's kind of a thicker one, so it holds more paint. And I'm just doing like little swirls. That's almost too dark. Let me get some more white. And go over those other ones. Maybe it'll lighten them up a little bit. And I'm just doing like little, I don't know, so that it looks like cottony tufts. There's not really a wrong way to do it, unless you're writing letters or something, making specific shapes. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here, only I'm also going to kind of go around like the edge of this, and I'm not going to do a whole lot of the swirls. I'm just going to kind of do the edges and then do like this. So it's kind of got a little bit of a shadow under his chin. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with the red. Let me rinse my brush. I like to, when I'm rinsing my brushes, I like to keep a jar handy, and I just dab it down in the jar, and then I wipe it off on a paper towel. Okay, with the red, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to get just a tad bit of black, and I'm going to swirl it up at the corner of this red. So I'm not mixing all the red into it, just a little bit. I'm just making a slightly darker shade of red. Our viewers are growing. We're up to like 30 people watching. That's awesome. I think last time we got all the way up to 70. This video is probably not going to be as long as that last one though. And sometimes it takes a long time to build up to that many. Okay, let me see if you guys can see. Let's get it down a little bit. I'm just going to take my darker red and just kind of streak it along the edge of that black outline I already did. And then kind of go around the edge of these little scallops. It doesn't have to like line up perfectly with it, just so that it's like shadowing it a little bit. And you can tell I'm not trying to do this real perfectly. I'm just, you know, he's a cartoon. He's not going to be perfect. He was hand drawn. I may take this same darker color and do the eyes again because they're not very filled in. That red is so transparent. Maybe the black will help shade it just a little bit. And that white is almost dry. In just a moment we'll do the yellow so he doesn't look so weird, because to me he looks really weird with the white eyes. Now one of his eyes is bigger than the other. Hang on, we gotta straighten this mess out. He can't be a crooked-eyed Grinch. I'm just widening his eyes a little bit. That's better. Alright, rinsing my brush again, and then we're going to shade with the green. This will be the last bit of shading we're going to do. I've already got my green mixed here. I took some spring green and mixed it with some palm leaf green, and it just makes a slightly, I don't know, murkier color of green. I'm really not sure what you call it. It's just a weird mixture of the two. And I got way too much, but I'm going to get a little bit of black, just like I did, and mix it into the edge. My kids have just come in here and discovered I'm making a video. Okay, so I've got just a little bit of that darker green right there. And you just want it just a tad bit darker. You don't want it like really dark, but just a tad darker than the rest of his face. And I'm just going to kind of go along some of these little outlines that I did of his mouth and whatnot. Because these kind of make me think of like wrinkles and stuff. Because he's a very hairy dude. And I'm not, you know, there's not a specific place you have to put them. Let me get just a little bit more of this color mixed. Y'all be quiet. And I'm putting them kind of in his crow's feet over here. Yes, you can have a popsicle.
Thank you.
This just makes him look a little bit more interesting instead of one-dimensional. I'm using that same pointy brush, by the way. It's just a little thicker so that it picks up more paint and I don't have to keep dipping as often. And I'm going to do a little bit in the middle of his nose to give it some dimension. And then I'll keep outlining up here. Do a little bit under that eyebrow. And then along here. Just like that. Let me turn it around so you can see it. See all the shading? It makes a lot of difference when it's... and right now it looks pretty dark, but once it dries, it won't look quite so bright. Okay, I think that white is dry enough that we can go ahead and finish the eyes. I'll keep it turned this way so you guys can kind of see them better. Let me get a skinny brush to do this with, because I want to be real precise about where I put the yellow. Okay, the yellow I'm using is called Bright Yellow. Any yellow will do really though, as long as it's not too mustardy looking. You still want to kind of keep it bright. I'm just going over the top of all this white that I put down. If anybody has questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And even if you're not watching this live later, you know, you can ask questions and I check my comments daily. I will go on and respond. If you're a latecomer, feel free to share the video. You can win one of these blank Grinch door hanger cutouts to paint at home yourself. And if you'd like to purchase one, there's links at the top of the post for doing that. You can purchase them painted or not painted, your choice. Almost got it. Okay, now he's got some yellow eyes. He looks kind of mean, don't he? Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush real quick. And then I'm going to take a really pointy brush and get some black. And I'm just going to real quickly outline this red, which it's not completely dry, so it's streaking just a tiny bit. But I didn't want to get the blow dryer out tonight if I could help it. I hate blow drying on live videos. Now I've streaked some of that red. Let me try to... Okay. I got that real uneven, didn't I? It's okay. Alright, and then I can't do it right now because it's all wet, but I'll show you when it's dry. Just do two little white lines kind of at the edge of his eyes. Or you could do like a little white dot in the corner of his eyes. I did a dot the first time, and to me it kind of made him look a little bit cross-eyed. But these little slants make him look just a little bit mean, I guess. So do those if you want to. I'm not going to do it right now because if I did, it would streak that red and black, and it's not dry yet. I'll go ahead and staple the bow on. I went ahead and made the bow ahead of time. If you're wanting a tutorial for how to make these bows, I'm planning on doing one here pretty soon. I just haven't done one yet, so maybe another night I will do one of those. But there's tons of tutorials on Pinterest and whatnot for how to make bows like this. They're just little loopy bows. Pretty simple, really. So if you're impatient and want one and don't want to wait for me to make the video, feel free to hop on Pinterest and like search for a loop bow tutorial. I think that's what they're called. And I always use a staple gun to attach them. I just put it right up there. So what do you guys think? Do you like the finished product? It's almost finished anyways. If anybody wants to order one of these, feel free to click the link at the top of the page. If you want to win one, share this video. And if you want to buy one painted, completely done like this, you can click a link at the top of the page. And as always, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me. Y'all have a good Thursday night. Bye.